We are facing the most serious threat to public media in history. Right now, the White House is trying to rescind already approved funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, money that keeps stations like ours running. Without it, essential local journalism, trusted reporting, and podcasts like this are all at risk. If you value public media, speak up now. Visit boisestatepublicradio.org/funding to learn more and take action.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector, Idaho's daily news. Good morning, I'm James Dawson. Just ahead, we'll have reactions to the U.S. Supreme Court earlier this week upholding a ban on gender-affirming care for minors across the country, including in Idaho. Congressional Republican spending package could sell off up to 3 million acres of public land. We'll take a look at exactly what could be up for auction. And Wyoming transportation officials are pushing back a major closure of Teton Pass until next weekend. It's Friday, June 20th, and here are today's headlines. Wednesday's U.S. Supreme Court ruling upholds a ban on gender-affirming medical care for trans youths in Tennessee. Henry D'Souza has more on what this means for Idaho.
The High Court upheld a Tennessee law banning all gender-affirming care for minors in a 6-3 majority ruling. The Idaho Family Policy Center, a conservative Christian policy platform, believes the ruling will protect children. Here's the group's president, Blaine Kanzati.
We're celebrating the decision of the U.S. Supreme Court to uphold the Tennessee state law.
The American Psychiatric Association supports access to gender-affirming care for youth. Medical research shows it can relieve emotional distress like depression and anxiety. The ACLU of Idaho considers the decision part of a, quote, larger campaign to target trans folks. Emily Croston, staff attorney of the ACLU of Idaho, says the ruling is disappointing.
We're going to continue to fight for trans rights because trans people belong in Idaho and they deserve to be in Idaho, and that doesn't change.
She says the ruling will not affect current cases of Hecox v. Little, which deals with trans athletes, or Robinson v. Labrador, which is focused on incarcerated individuals having access to gender-affirming medical care. Henry D'Souza, Boise State Public Radio News.
Supporters of a push to sell public lands and a major budget package for housing say the goal is to target underused parcels. But some environmental and recreation groups are pushing back, saying land important to people and wildlife could be eligible for sale too. That's based on the way a draft U.S. Senate bill is written. Jeff Crane leads the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation. His group, with bipartisan members, worries about parcels that serve as gateways to broader public lands.
You could be talking about hundreds of thousands of acres or more, and all of a sudden you get no access to it for hunting and fishing. That's a big problem.
Senator Mike Lee is the chief architect of the public land sale idea. His team has not responded to requests for comments. Teton Pass will remain open this weekend after state officials postponed repair work due to recent rain. The Wyoming Department of Transportation is postponing round-the-clock construction for next weekend. Work will begin at 6 p.m. on June 27th, with the highway reopening for the morning commute at 6 a.m. June 30th. The project will pave the final portion of last year's massive landslide that closed the critical highway for weeks. During next weekend's closure, travelers will have to detour through Swan Valley, Alpine, and Snake River Canyon. So-called straight pride events have happened in the United States since the 1980s, and now a significant gathering is happening in downtown Boise this weekend. Jamie Geary has the story.
The free-to-attend Hetero Awesome Fest will be hosted today and tomorrow at Julia Davis Park. Right-wing commentators will be promoting, quote, traditional family values. John Lewis is a research fellow studying extremism at George Washington University. He says he's recently seen
the mainstreaming of these really extreme, hateful ideologies wrapped up in these neat, almost wholesome, appealing messages.
Hetero Awesome Fest creator Mark Fitzpatrick says he wants the event to be respectful to all.
That I'll say, hey, Pride movement is pushing, gender affirming care, drugs, and surgeries on children, and creating a world where that idea is affirmed. And I think that that's evil. We shouldn't be doing that.
Lewis says events like this practice extremism by blaming marginalized peoples for personal and systemic issues. He calls it an exclusionary movement.
Only this specific in-group of patriotic white Christian men can thrive. When we look at the baseline definitions of extremism, in most cases is for your group of chosen people to survive and thrive and succeed, that you have to oppress.
These types of movements started around 40 years ago, but Lewis says today social media helps the ideas spread faster. Jamie Geary, Boise State Public Radio News.
And the Nampa School District is beginning talks with the city to potentially swap 40 acres of land near the airport for rodeo and stampede parks. District officials say the proposal would give Nampa High School its own baseball and softball facilities. Nampa High teams currently play at those parks with permission from the city. As Idaho Ed News first reported, some organizers of the local American Legion youth baseball program said they worried the district might end their lease at the parks if they take them over. Board trustee Brooke Taylor says the process is just beginning.
This is not a finite choice, guys. This is just saying that we are allowing Mr. Stauffer to have the conversation. This will have to come back to us many times over. This really just starts the talk.
Other trustees also said they want to keep allowing American Legion baseball at the parks. And that's today's episode of The Connector. I'm James Dawson, and we'll see you back here Monday. To stay in touch with the news between now and then, check out boisestatepublicradio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. Thanks for listening.
Planet Money helps you understand the economy. We find the people at the center of the story.
Garbage in New York, that was like a controlled substance.
We show you how money influences everything.
Tell me what you like by telling me how you spend your money.
And we dig until we get answers.
I had a bad feeling you're going to bring that up.
Planet Money finds out. All you have to do is listen. The Planet Money Podcast from NPR.